All right, I will leave it as it is. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Eid Mubarak to everyone. Thank you for coming. Although Eid make many friends busy, but you saved some time. Thank you very much for joining. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. We are continuing where we left off from last week. And 25 years ago, introduction to the section, actually, there is nothing essential here. 25 years ago in Ramadan, after the afternoon prayer, I read Sheikh Abdul Qadir Gailani's composition in verse about the most beautiful names. That is important, about the most beautiful names. I felt the desire to write this application with the divine name, and at that time, only this much was written. I wanted to write a supplication similar to that of my Holy Master, but alas, I have no ability to write poetry, and it remained deficient. But nevertheless, this application was added to the 23rd letter or the 23rd word, wherever it is, known as the 33 windows, then was included here on account of its station. That's what we got. It is about the divine names. Now, he is the enduring one. Nursi uses this expression a lot, Huwa al-Baqi. What does it mean? Of course, the Huwa al-Baqi infers nothing is Baqi in this world, but only the one who gave existence to this world is the eternal one, enduring one. Okay, now he is introducing this enduring one, the only enduring one, and starts with the wise judge of affairs. We are under his decree. These are the conclusions, because we studied in the first table the meaning of there is nothing in this world which satisfies human expectations and satisfies human reasoning, that they can give meaning to our life. That was, we said, the summary of La ilaha. And then the second table was about illallah, then who can satisfy me, description of the source of existence, who really can satisfy my feelings as well, because he is the creator of my feelings. This process in comparison has been somehow outlined in the previous 2 pages. Now we are talking about the conclusions, that the one who owns this universe, created this universe, must be the wise judge of affairs. This is the declaration that everything is under his justice, decided under his justice. We are under his decree, that we have to acknowledge what is going on in this world is the result of his decision, his choice. Not necessarily that it includes my free will, because the existence of my free will is also his decree. his decision, but the nature of free will is always free. That doesn't mean that I have no freedom, because everything is the result of his decree. So we understand, yes, everything is the result of his choice. Everything comes into existence as a result of his choice, but it doesn't mean that I have no free will. I have free will because this is also my free will, also his choice. That's what we should understand qadar. This is called the decree or divine wise judgment of affairs. That means divine determining should be understood in such a way that it should not deny my free choice, ability to choose freely, but not give any authority to my free will that he decides about existence. He chooses and presents to the creator what to create for me according to his will. What does it mean? According to the will manifested itself in the universe as the order of the universe. The order of the universe is will. I have to choose from among the order of the universe. That is how we should understand that everything is under his decree. So I will read the second paragraph, which is not second paragraph, second line, which is very dense, but let's go over it as quick as possible. Meanwhile, if anybody wants to make any comment or question or any concerns, really, just interrupt me. You don't have to ask for a permission. I'm giving, I have no authority, but as the one who speaks a lot, you can interrupt me anytime without any hesitation. Please go ahead. He is the just arbiter. His are the heavens and the earth. This is declaration of the result of the second table. If I understand that this universe has an owner, the creator, so whatever the qualities I see here manifested in this world, I am declaring that it is his authority, it is his choice, decree, and trying to understand from the way that the universe is created, the qualities of its creator. And my conclusion is he is the just arbiter. Another conclusion, his are the heavens and the earth. There is no other owner. That declaration is a kind of, what is it called? My communication with the creator, my covenants with the creator. Okay, my acknowledgement of
Oath.
My conclusion.
Like an oath?
My oath, my covenant with the creator. Yeah, did you say oath? It means O-A-T-H?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can use any word along this meaning, actually. So this is just a declaration. That is my conclusion. He is the all-powerful, self-sustenance. Of course, we should understand that this is the conclusion after coming to a conclusion or reaching a conclusion from the search of the creation, including universe and myself, included myself. So this is conclusion. He is the all-powerful, self-subsistent. His is all from the throne to the ground. What does it mean? From the throne to the ground. Any idea? What does it mean? All from the thrown to the ground belongs to him, nobody else. Of course, if you don't really unmute yourself and start.
Brotherly, I take this to first of all mean indicate absoluteness, and then the other ways to think that help me think about this, wherever it says the heavens and the earth, or I guess it's different in this case, thrown to the ground. I'm taking it to mean absoluteness, but also to anything that I think of, whether it's in the physical sense or my feelings or thoughts. So yeah, I think in basic words, I take it to indicate absoluteness.
So what do you mean it? You use it. What do you mean by it?
To see his everything as a sign, as a indication of the existence of the Creator.
Any sign.
Any sign. Or everything, every feeling, every concept, every idea as a sign.
As a sign to his qualities of all-powerful, all-powerful, all self-subsistent one. I mean, as a result of what I understood from what you said, as a result of my investigation, I understand that the owner of this universe, creator of this universe, must be self-subsistent one and must be all-powerful one. Now, the throne, from the throne to the crown, it means everything, but throne symbolizes, if anybody helps us understand what does throne symbolizes here. Anyone? Throne.
Could it be like Gaibi aspect, the unseen aspect, the meaning full aspect of things, whereas the ground perhaps could represent like all created beings from the micro to the macro?
Yeah, the unseen side of the things. I can still ask this question. It doesn't mean that you are wrong. No, to make it much clearer. What do you mean by unseen side of the things, everything?
I guess, although the question is not just aimed at me, I guess the fact that, as Farah was saying before, that everything is a sign or a representative, or it brings about a message that is not necessarily in its physical form, that it points to something beyond itself, that it points to an absolute source of existence that cannot be found within the thing, the feeling, or the ant, or whatever the thing itself.
Okay, can you give us an example of it? So so that I can understand. I understood what you said, because I'm guessing that you mean this or that. So this is my guess. If you give me an example, it will help me understand better, if you can.
Okay, inshallah, simple example that we use often. For example, a flower, right? It has certain qualities of beauty, of design, of being manifested again after the death of its death in winter. So all of these different qualities cannot be inherent. I see that I cannot attribute these qualities to the flower itself, for it doesn't consist of consciousness or any of the quality. It doesn't have a sense of design inherent to itself. So then I can conclude that there must be a source, there must be a conscious will that is fashioning this flower that is designing this flower in its particular way.
Why do you think, thank you, it is becoming it's being helpful and clearer. Now, why do you think it is called as throne? Of course, I am assuming that definitely you know that throne is a Quranic word. It is better to understand the Quranic word within the context of the Quran as it is explained here, because this kind of words, the author borrows from the Quran and studies it in such a way that it is helpful for the reader to understand the content of this term, concept, as throne here, for example. So that when I read the Quran, when I read the Arsh in the Quran, I will understand because of the help of this text. How can I connect it? For example, in the Quran, it is explained that, or it is presented as the water is his throne. Water. You gave the example of apple. Water of his throne. In this context, take it for water, or take it for the apple example. How can I really connect this word throne to water or the apple? Equally, they are both equally correct.
Just to chime in again, I would say a power of a place of manifestation of absolute power. Maybe like the substitute for what throne can represent in that case. A place of manifestation for an absolute, in this particular case, perhaps power kind of is a quality that stands out more so than others.
Why throne? Why throne? The word throne is used here. Any idea? Why do you think the word throne, the concept throne, is used here, Arsh, in the Quran? كان عرشه على الماء, for example. His arsh was or is on water, for example. Why throne? Why do you think the word throne is used? What does throne may represent for you? It is going well. Continue, please.
I would say maybe dominion or power, but I know Fariha also has something to add, so I would love to hear that.
Well, I was just gonna say authority, like king, majesty, ownership.
Majesty, ownership, the authority over it. What, for example, throne represents what? In the eye of the people, because Quran speaks to human beings. What do they understand when they hear the word throne, throne of a king? What does it mean? Ownership, dominion over the whole country. So if his throne is on water, it means who owns the water, who administers the water, who gives existence to the water, who sustains it, who maintains it, who changes it, who manages it. He is presented to us here, the one who is the owner of the universe is has his throne on even a molecule of water. Everywhere, the throne is his throne. For example, the difference between the king's throne. King has the authority but the functioning agents are not the king. They work on the authority of the king. The difference, the Quran says, it doesn't say his throne is the samawat wa ard. It says, but it says it presents the creator, the owner, presents himself as my throne is on everything, even on a molecule of water is my throne. My throne is on it. What is the difference between the two?
Between the water molecule and, what were the two things? Sorry.
Between the two, it means between the water molecule, having a throne on on a molecule of water, and the king of this world. Because human beings think of the world in terms of this worldly life. Quran takes this word and gives it another meaning according to the purpose of the Quran, according to the context of the teachings of the Quran. So we will learn this. We need to learn this, how Quran speaks to human beings, uses human concepts, takes it and gives it another meaning within its own area or purpose. That's why Quranic terminology must be understood, although they are human languages. For example, throne, everybody can use the word throne, but Quran uses it, but gives it a new meaning, which is according to the purposes of the teachings of the Quran. Now, when I look at the word, I understand the throne as representing king's authority over a land, piece of land. Large, small, not important. Okay. Do you think God is the king of the universe? Yes. Are they the same? No, cannot be, because the purpose of the Quran is, as presented by our friends here, introducing the source of existence of this universe, which is, as it is said, ghaib, as it is said, unknown or unseen aspect of it, as these are the words which are rightly used here, as far as I understand. The meaning side of the universe and absolute qualities, the meaning side refers to the absoluteness of the creator. Okay. What is the difference between the throne of the creator and throne of a king, so that I will change my understanding of throne in worldly life and change it into and adapt it to the purpose of the teaching of the Quran. This transfer needs education, training, very simple, not complicated at all. You don't have to know deeper Arabic language, not deeper, even shallow Arabic language. It's very simple. Just get the method. So anything that we read in the Quran, which from one aspect, Quran uses, I'm repeating this, Quran uses human language. But it says it is Kalamullah. No, God's speech. Is God's speech supposed to be different from human language? Cannot be, otherwise God's speech will be irrelevant to me. So it must speak to me with the language I use. If it speaks to me with the language I use, what is the difference between my saying throne and Quran saying throne? This transition is necessary to be made. So my saying throne within my context, the speech of God saying throne must be within his context, his context. What I need to be careful now, which is mostly missing in the eyes of the people, generally even the scholars are not really taking notice of it while they are making comments. If you study the classicals, you will see that. Why? Because they took belief in the Quran as the word of God for granted. That is the tradition has been for many, many centuries, and that was appropriate for their centuries. But this century, it doesn't work. That's why we have to specify it now. We have to clarify it now. That is why I use this opportunity of this Quranic terms here used throne to the ground. Why we haven't studied the ground side of it. We will, inshallah, today we can grasp this one. Methodologically, it is important. If we understand how to understand the Quranic word arsh, that's it. That's enough for today to me. But inshallah, we will continue, but that's enough because I will apply the same principle, same methodology of understanding the Quran to every word which is unique to the Quranic concepts, Quranic context. That's why I am emphasizing on and also talking a lot about it. So in my mind, throne means when the king represents himself. But the Quran says, this is my throne. Yep, the universe is my throne. Or in here, everything belongs to his power, his power, and everything that I see throne belongs to him. And also anything on the ground belongs to him as well. So we should remember the difference between, I mean, you all know that, but how the transfer should take place, that's why I am speaking a lot. Yeah, but I'm sure you all know this. When God says, my throne, it means absolute throne. When king says his throne, it means his worldly, created, temporary throne. That is why he is needy, created. He needs helpers. He has to employ other people using his authority and employing them, paying them accordingly. The agents will act for him. He cannot do everything himself. Even, I don't know whether he really does his own, I don't know, cooking. I don't think so. So needy person. He needs help everywhere. But the difference, of course, we should understand in the creation of everything, we see one authority physically operating, executing without employing any agent. That's what the Quran says, Shafa'ah, intercession. For example, the king asked somebody, employed somebody to repair my or the road in front of my house. Okay, somebody is doing it. This person is a shafa'a between the king and me. He is doing the job under the authority of the king, and I am benefiting from it. King has to use agents. Quran says, "Man ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه." Nobody, nothing he needs to be an intermediary agent. إلا بإذنه, if he gives the opportunity, but with his authority. What does it mean? His permission. What does it mean? Now the king gives the authority to the worker, laborer, employee. God creates the things in a way according to his will. They seem to be the agents, but they are not the agents. That is why Quran uses the word shafa'a in different contexts, as if there are agents. In some contexts, the shafa'a is used. No, there is no agent. No one can really, what was the word in English, shafa'a?
Intercession.
Intercessor. Shafi'a, intercessor. Thank you. So no one, there is nothing in the universe, in the creation, who intercedes between God and you. In some places it says, but with his permission, some, maybe. That is according to the context. Why it is so ambiguous, we can study. Now, first here, the throne belongs to him. Everything else, even an atom, the authority belongs to him. The difference is he doesn't use agent. He directly himself execute the existence of the atom within his order, bi'idhni, illa bi'idhni. It means according to his will, permission. Now, within his permission, it is always operated in this way, executed in this way. But let's use a simple example of the tree again. Tree is a good example. In a way that he executes his authority, from one aspect, it looks like tree itself is producing the fruit. So some scholars, we see that they confused here, Mu'tazila scholars confused here, as if Mu'tazila scholars, there is no need to learn the name. Some scholars said tree is given permission to make intercessing between what I need, fruit, and satisfy my need. So tree is the intercessor, according to certain scholars. But according to another group of scholars, which are the majority nowadays, or at the end they became majority, they said no. With his permission, it means his will, which is irade, which is the order of the universe. Now, according to the order of the universe, fruit is always executed, created in the body of the tree. Why? Because it is his will. So tree is created in such a way, according to his permission, seems to be the creator of the fruit. Now, if it is the creator of the fruit, he is an agent of God, like king's agents, executing his order in the world. But they say, no, there should be a difference between the absolute king and created temporary poor guy, like you and me, dies and finishes, gets out of this world. There must be a difference. What is the difference? The difference is one of them really employs, otherwise he cannot operate, he cannot come and do my repair of my road, and at the same time all over the universe. No, but the creator is operating all over the universe permanently, eternally, infinitely. So he should not need the agent. If he doesn't need the agent, what the tree is doing then? Tree is created in this way according to the will, choice of the creator. The order of the universe is like this. So that the human beings will know, if I want peach fruit, I have to plant the seed of the peach fruit, and I have to grow, not myself, but ask the creator of the universe by obeying his order to create a peach tree so that I will receive my peach fruit. This process must be understood very clearly. I believe you do. I believe you do. But just for the sake of our subject, I'm mentioning this. The throne on the tree belongs to him. Throne on the fruit belongs to him. Throne on the seed of the fruit belongs to him. Throne means what? Executing power. Now changed. Not symbolizing the authority, but executing power. This is the difference between king's throne and God's throne. Now, one of them is authority only. The other one is executing power. All-powerful one. Power is there. It doesn't really operate it by the power of the tree, because power of the tree doesn't exist. Tree needs to be created. But what we are now seeing in the world is the infinite number of throne activities, if you like, executing activities within each other. That is the sign of absoluteness. Cannot be anything which is not absolute. Impossible to comprehend this. Impossible. We have to understand that tree is not the agent of God, but the creator has no agent except according to his order. He is the only executor. خالق كل شيء. If someone says the universe must have a creator, correct. This creator organizes everything, correct. All right. And this creator arranges, manages everything, correct. All right. What is the difference between a person believes in God in this way and what the Quran's concept of ahadiyya is, and what is new in the Quran? Because we see in Torah, God is described as the owner of, creator of the universe. If you speak to any Jew, any Christian, they will say they believe that the universe is created by God. And what they confuse Jesus, but they don't say Jesus is the creator of the universe. Jesus is only one aspect of this creator. Aspect, rukun. So, aspect of the creator. So don't confuse that. Christianity doesn't believe in the creator. They do. Even they say Jesus is Son of God or a kind of God. They know that. They know that they don't mean the creator of the universe. But one aspect of the universe, and they play with the word, saying that, as the Muslims say, the qualities of the universe, you know, the sifat or asma in the language of the Quran, names of the universe. Look, they have many names. We have only one name, Jesus. That is ridiculous understanding, but it is just a political maneuver or strategy. So we don't take it seriously, because when you say God is one, his quality is also absolute. And we cannot separate God's qualities from God's essence. So they are the same thing. God's essence is in its essence his qualities. Yeah, for example, my quality of, let's say, I have a limited power to lift up my book, for example. It doesn't mean that I exist and my power to lift or to hold the book, to lift up the book, it has another entity to exist. Doesn't make sense. It is quality of the same essence. But this is their, some of them, most of them don't know what they are doing, but some knowledgeable ones say this. I heard of it, yeah, from a professor in theology, Christian theology. Anyways, now let's come out to our subject. So the difference between word throne, the king's throne, and God's throne. God's throne is everywhere he is the executor, because we cannot attribute the existence of fruit to the even given power of the tree. It is the power given to him, still given to it, to the tree. Still we can easily make the distinction that tree has no power at all. It is 100% needy to be created. Every quality of the tree needs to be created. They have no inherent, even given form, inherent quality of themselves. That is what we have to understand, the Quranic concept, how a word concept is transferred into a Quranic concept. That's why we should never say that God created the tree and now tree is producing the fruit. It doesn't make sense. For example, saying the same thing, then I'm using the throne in worldly language, attributing it to the king. I can say the agent is acting and doing and repair action, it means execution, with the authority of the king. No, king is needy of the agent to execute it. The creator doesn't show any sign that the creator needs the agent of the tree to execute in order to create the fruit, or to execute the existence of the fruit. We don't see that element at all. Tree is absolutely 0%. Tree has 0% power, 0% independent quality at all, completely dependent in its existence, in every aspect of its existence. No one can show any sign that it has a quality. So this transition must be made. Like, for example, I have my power to do something. God created me with the power to do something. So I am powerful according to, or as much as I am given power by God. This concept, Quran says this is shirk. So rejected. Why? We understand that even I have power now, I'm sure I seem to have power. With this power, I cannot create anything, but only desire, choose. The result is created in a nanosecond, even smaller than this. Nanosecond, as a result, is created. I am not the creator. I know that I am not the source of this power at all, and I have not the power. I don't have power of myself, but I am manifested the power so that I have this manifestation in me. And I am just utilizing and using it with my free will in order to present my need to the Creator, so that this is the way how I live. We have to understand that it's a very fine point here. We have to be very careful. So I have a limited power. God's power is absolute, is a wrong comparison. I am given the manifestation of the absolutely powerful one, the power of the absolutely powerful one, so that my consciousness will acknowledge it. So it is when we start speaking about human activities, actions, it becomes more complicated. It needs very, very fine tuning. We have to understand. To speak about the tree is very easy because the tree has no free will whatsoever. But because I have a free will, I seem to be operating my power and giving existence to something. But in fact, I'm choosing. That is the fine point that we have to understand. We have left a few minutes. It is the 8th day today. I have to be very careful. Let's come to ground. What is the ground, do you think? From the throne to the ground. Throne is the meaning, as it's explained by our friends. From is the unseen side of it, meaning side of it, or referring to the absolute creator, this side of it, which is called Melekutiyet side of it. Okay, ground is what I see in the material existence of the things, that as if they are sustaining their life, because this he is the all-powerful, self-sustenant, refers to all from the throne to the ground, belongs to his power, belongs to his self-sustenance. Now, ground seem to be in this world, the matter, the collection of this matter here in this world, as if they sustain their existence by themselves. Here they are, they exist. I'm sure they exist, they are here, so concrete beings are there. He says, no, self-sustenance of this thing does not belong to itself. I am giving or sustaining their existence as they appear to be. That is why it is very important to understand the constant acts of creations manifesting themselves in this world. Constant manifestations of acts of creation. There is no independent agent at all. Not independent means any agent apart from the absolute being. There is no agent in the world. The original side of the existence of the universe belongs to him. There is no the Bari, the Father, the Khaliq, is he, only he is the Khaliq, he is the Father. These are all a Bedi', everything from scratch. Its existence owes its existence, everything from the scratch, to his act of agency, if we like, his act of executing it, execution act, his act. That's what we should not only speak about the qualities manifested in the things, are the throne, representing the throne of the absolute being, but at the same time, what we are talking here as the thing itself, as if tree has a fixed existence, self-subsistent existence, but there are qualities manifested in this, and these qualities belong to him. But how about the tree? It belongs to him as well. Now, it is to wrap up. I didn't think that this subject will take so long, but it's very important. Okay, for example, when I look at a piece of art, I see the material side of it, and also there is art manifested in it. Art says, the quality of art says, I cannot belong to the material side of this art, material side of it. I understand this. Everybody understands this. So the art is the manifestation of the qualities of the artist. Okay, that's easy to understand because we have been giving this example a million times. So inshallah, you are not bored about it. So what? How about the material used? How about the material used? To whom or whom does it belong to? Or who does it belong to? Sorry for my English. Who doesn't belong to? Now, this sentence says the material side of it also doesn't have its own existence by itself. It means it is not self-subsistent. The creator of the universe sustains its existence. It cannot really have any quality to sustain its existence. So the piece of art, together with its material side and the quality side, they both belong to the owner, the creator of the universe, who has absolute qualities, who is self-subsistent. Nothing else is self-subsistent, although the universe seems to be self-subsistent. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe many repetitions, but that is how I could explain it. I'm handicapped in this way. Last comments. Anybody? Questions, concerns?
I thought the matter was clear. What I understood you do is also clarify what we mean by absolute. That the comparison between a king's authority, in which he has, let's say, a central figure, he gives commands, he has a authority over the land, but individually, let's say, some person in the kingdom, what they're doing in their house, how they're cooking the food, is not a matter of the king's authority in the worldly sense, but in the way that, in the Quranic sense of the throne or absoluteness, even that minute action that someone in their house is performing is under the authority and the execution of the king. So I thought it was clear, the matter on how you explained absoluteness.
Correct. What we have to pay attention, two words, execution, and related word is agent. Creator has no agent. He is the only executor in every aspect of the existence. King cannot execute anything, and he has to use agents. The transfer from world language into Quranic language, although the word throne is used by any human being, but when it is used in the Quranic context, it becomes just the opposite meaning of what we mean. But there is a similarity in, similarity, not the similarity. There is a connection from the throne of a king. I can refer and change it, transfer it into throne of the creator on the same line, but the quality, throne of the king, really as compared to God's throne has zero quality. God's throne as compared to king's throne, 100% different from king's throne. 100%, 0%, not similarity at all, any 0.0001% similar. No, not at all, 0 to 1%. Why is it important? All the words used in the Quran are human languages. When it is used in the Quran, they become 100% different meaning from human languages. That is how should the Quran should be read. Inshallah, we can benefit from this transfer, yes, and also not confuse our minds saying that the Quran uses human languages. Why not God uses a godly language? He uses a godly language, but addresses human beings. That's why he comes down to human level using his language and changing the content of the meaning of the language that the Quran uses into another understanding, which is 100% opposite of what human language says. If you cannot do it, we will be in trouble. The Quran says God comes down on earth. When you hear it, what is this mutashabihat? We don't understand, leave it. That is just a handicapped way of treating the Quran. It means that apologetic and to a certain extent, not logically consistent way of reading the Quran. Whatever they cannot explain with the classical understanding, they refer it to mutashabihat. It means you cannot understand, leave it. That is a very simplistic attitude. It used to work, but not anymore. No, we have to be very careful. It changed now from 20th century onwards, especially 21st century, never ever uses, no one can swallow this kind of interpretations anymore. No one. Only those people who follow the tradition that they cannot change anyway. And this generation will die, my generation will die away. And your generation will have the hard time. So you prepare yourself really. So we have to understand this, how the Quran should be understood. Quranic language, how the Quranic language should be transferred from human vocabulary to godly vocabulary, divine vocabulary. This transfer, how should be done, this transfer? And every word, whatever the word you use, with no exception at all, to my understanding, this transfer needs to be done. Otherwise, we will be in trouble and we cannot defend the Quran as God's word, because if we don't follow this principle, it doesn't work and it is not God's word. It is just human word, but very much respected human world. The Quran becomes, unfortunately, it is not very widely known. Inshallah, not only I know, excuse me, I'm learning from Nursi's writing. Nursi learns from certain scholars in there, but they are in minority. That's why these kind of scholars are not very much supported by the kings, the Muslim kings and the Muslim people administering the Muslim people. That is why they are not very much well known. Otherwise, if you are really aware of the need, you will appreciate Nursi's methodology. It brings to us the summary of all these valuable methodological informations to us. Thank you very much, Jazakumullah. I am very thankful to God, that he introduced me to the to Nursi's writings. Otherwise, I would be myself in trouble. I was making, as a child, young boy, I was just mocking with the Quranic language, and I mean, not denying it, but it doesn't make sense to me. What does it mean? What does it mean? I was questioning about the legitimacy of the claim that this book is God's word. Alhamdulillah, Allah saved me through employing Nursi and, of course, executing his guidance to me. Alhamdulillah, I needed it. I was searching for it. Inshallah, those people who were searching for it, God will reply. God will respond, definitely respond to this need. Human need. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Here I am finished, I'm done. If anybody else would like to say anything, otherwise, Eid Mubarak, see you tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.